So when you were doing modeling, you were really successful. So what made you get into styling?
My first shoot was with a Bollywood celebrity.
Okay.
And when the makeup artist was doing my makeup, he made me look 3-4 shades darker. I was like, what is wrong? Then I was told that you cannot overshadow the actress.
So why do you think a bride or groom should have a bridal stylist?
By hiring a wedding stylist or hiring me,
What are the three things that you recommend a bride or groom should have?
brides and grooms are very inspired by Bollywood weddings.
Okay.
So Arun, when it comes to photography, how pestered you get.
In photographer community, this is going on where the polished content is not selling anymore.
It's important to push your limits little bit when it comes to fashion. The more you push yourself out of your comfort zone is when people are going to notice it. Say like, oh, this time she's tried something new.
So are clients of you are willing to experiment in this aspect? When it comes to styling, the most challenging category is wedding, in which we all wanted to look our best. And there are very few people who specialize on wedding styling like Mehendi Jasnani. She started her career as a model and also ventured into styling. And this episode highlights the perks of hiring a wedding stylist. Please do subscribe to our podcast because the more you subscribe to us, the better the guests will be able to bring to our show. Enjoy the show. So hi Mehendi.
Hi Arun, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Okay, I've been following you from Kappa days.
Right.
So I know you from a quite long time. So how did you start your career?
First of all, thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
This is my very first podcast, and I'm really excited, to be a part of something like this and share my journey. I started back in 2008, and I really never thought that I would want to become a model someday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so fascinating to watch, all these pageants and Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss India. And when someone asked me, when I was a child, people would ask me what you'd like to grow up and become, and I would always say Miss World
Okay.
without a thought.
Okay.
And I think subconsciously somewhere I manifested that for myself.
Okay.
Being on ramp and actually in front of camera.
Mm.
But I was always inclined towards wearing good clothes and fashion and different designers. I was always
Okay.
I think very inclined towards that. But this just happened along the way.
Okay.
Back in school, after school, I just joined a modeling workshop. It was called Dreamcast
Okay.
with
Okay.
Karthik Srinivasan and Hema. And I did that modeling workshop, and then I got a portfolio done. My portfolio was passed around, and then there was no looking back. I did a lot of shoots after that. I was really welcomed with the arms wide open,
Okay.
and I was quite a shy person.
Okay.
I was very timid, and I wouldn't really be able to talk to anybody because I was really shy and stuff. But the entire journey has transformed me so
Okay.
much today.
So were your parents supportive of this?
Very much.
Okay.
I think they've been supportive from the start.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, my mom would accompany me to a lot of shoots in the
okay.
beginning
Mm,
because we were not sure of how the whole industry works and stuff
Okay,
like
okay.
that.
Mm.
So she accompanied me initially, and she saw everything was so good and safe with people around. And
So then she gained some confidence. Then
she did.
Okay.
So yeah, she was quite excited to see me, in front of camera, and it was also a new experience for them.
Okay.
So when they realize that it's all safe in Chennai and people are really nice and kind, towards you, then they were pretty okay with everything.
Okay. Okay. So how was your first shoot experience, Mehendi? First
Uh,
commercial shoot.
so if I have to talk about my first shoot experience now,
Mm.
it's really funny.
Okay.
But back then it was very, I felt a bit sad and, disheartened.
Why?
Yeah, because, I was, my first shoot was with a Bollywood celebrity.
Okay.
And she was there and I was there.
Mm.
And when the makeup artist was doing my makeup,
Mm.
he made me look 3-4 shades darker
Oh.
than my skin tone. And I was
Okay.
wondering, oh, is this how it's supposed to be done? Because back then I didn't know even how to hold a brush, I didn't know anything about makeup or to do my own makeup. So when he was doing my makeup, I was like, oh, I don't look like this. What is wrong? So I was, then I was told that because you cannot overshadow the
The
actress
actress.
or be on the same, on the forefront and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, okay, this is how it works. So when I went back home, I was very upset. I was like, oh, is this how it works? I don't want to do it and stuff like that. But that was my very first experience
Okay.
with a shoot. And yeah, with Ramp, it was very exciting because, like I said, I was so fascinated by pageants and stuff like that. I always wanted to be on Ramp. But I was told that I'm not cut out for Ramp because I'm not that tall. I don't have the long legs and stuff like that. But when I actually did all the Ramp shows and when I was appreciated and praised for the work I was doing, I was so happy. I was so excited. I would always look forward to the backstage chaos of changing in 2 minutes and
Okay.
going back on stage, and wearing different designers. That I think excited me the most.
Okay. So whom did you work for first?
I did a show. It was for a college. These guys were getting graduated and they had their collection. So my very first show was one of those schools, design schools.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you were doing modeling, you were really successful. So what made you get into styling?
I'm very passionate about styling.
Okay. Okay.
And I feel like when I was in my after my undergrad, I took up fashion designing. I did a course in fashion designing, and I
So you
thought
did visual communication, right?
I did Viscom in my
Okay.
undergrad.
Okay. Okay.
And after that, I wanted to study further and I wanted to take fashion designing, seriously. So I did a course on fashion designing. And then I realized that, I'm not cut out for fashion designing. The whole pattern making, designing from scratch, choosing the fabric, brainstorming on the idea of the silhouette and, the embroidery. I was not made for it.
Okay.
I think it didn't come to me naturally and I was so confused and I was like, what the hell is happening?
Okay.
But I knew I wanted to do something with clothes and fashion. And then I realized that I'm more of a stylist than a designer. And for me, putting ABC together comes more naturally and effortlessly than designing an outfit from scratch.
Okay.
So I took up. That's how I took up styling seriously, and I was because I was so passionate about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not necessarily when you do fashion designing, you have to get into the designing aspect. You can even get into styling also.
Exactly, but the
Okay.
course was all about fashion designing. It was
Mm,
pattern making and the history of
Okay, but it was helpful in your styling journey also.
I hardly attended college
Okay.
because I was like in the peak. I feel I was doing a lot of shoots and stuff, so I hardly
So while doing
attended.
your college itself, you were doing your
Yeah,
modeling also
after school,
parallelly.
after school, like those holidays when you apply for colleges and stuff. That's when I actually started
Okay.
modeling. Like I still remember my first picture that came out on newspaper. All my schoolmates were like, "Oh, is this the same girl who used to come to
Okay,
school with
okay,
oil
okay.
and two
Okay.
ribbons?" So
Oh.
it was right after school, after 12th grade.
All right, all right. So when it comes to styling for shoots, today we have stylists who put together the look. Okay. So who took the responsibility back then when stylish was not a thing? Styling was not a thing.
So we did have stylists even back then. I still
Okay, okay.
remember working with stylists,
Okay.
but a large portion of the decision making was obviously done by directors, clients, cinematographers. Checking the background colors and things like that. But today we have Pinterest, we have Instagram, we have so many different platforms where stylists are so inspired and are also given a free hand, to be creative. Back then, that creativity was not allowed so much. I
Okay,
feel
okay,
it was like a set, a set of mood board
Only I
given.
think the top person, the directors and the producers are allowed to
They
make
were
decisions.
allowed to, and the client, of course, was
Okay, okay.
used to give a green signal. But the stylist didn't have that much of a free hand in actually deciding and putting in the creative decision making. Right now, today we have that. I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
given the free hand and the decision making.
That's a good thing actually.
Yeah, that's a very good thing because that's the real job of a stylist.
Because I feel like
right?
the stylists know the color theory and all the
Exactly.
stuff.
The color theory, the body type, what is appropriate for camera, what color would suit, and things like that.
Okay. Okay. So what's your first commercial shoot experience as a stylist?
Um, my first commercial shoot experience as a stylist was very chaotic because from being in front of camera to being behind camera, it was crazy. Like I
Okay,
was a bit
okay.
scared
Okay.
because I was like, oh, what if I get negative feedback and what
Okay.
if I'm not able to run around and do things? But I think I fairly did a good job, and I think every shoot of mine has taught me something. Even if I'm very open to feedback. In fact,
Okay.
I take it very well, and I
Okay.
feel that's the space where you can actually learn a lot. So
Okay.
with feedback over time, and with experts telling me things, I have built myself over that, and
Super.
again, a fab experience. Today I'm
Okay.
more confident, and I know I don't panic so much like I used to
Okay, but
earlier.
usually when you're in the front of the camera only, you'll panic, no? Because see, for me, it's actually reverse thing. I wasn't behind the camera all these days.
Right.
Just now, I'm coming in front of the
Oh
camera.
yes, for you it's a different experience
Yes,
because
yes,
you're a photographer,
and I'm
and
coming in
today
front of
you're
the
right in
camera.
front.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think when you're passionate about something, it just naturally
Mm,
flows,
mm.
and you have that
You have to
hunger.
do it more.
Yeah, it just naturally,
Mm.
even if you're scared, it's something that you learn out of it, I feel. So
Okay.
you that willingness is there in the first
Okay.
place to show up. Like I
Mm.
said, I'm so passionate about styling, so
Styling.
I knew I had to be in that space. Now
Mm.
what came along with it is
Mm.
something that I have to deal with. If I have to deal with the satisfaction of being a stylist, then I also have to deal with
The
the
all
learning
these.
process.
Okay.
So I was excited about both.
Superb,
Yeah.
superb. So you were a successful commercial stylist, and then how did you decide to get into bridal styling particularly? Because at that time, no one was doing.
Right. So
Mm.
a
I believe
bride.
now also there are very few people who are doing bridal styling in Chennai particularly.
True. There
Mm.
is not much happening in the bridal space in Chennai,
Yes.
and yeah, actually, there's not much happening.
Mm.
So for me, bridal styling, again, like I said, I'm very passionate about
Mhm,
it.
mm.
The whole idea of someone, trusting me with one of the biggest days of their life.
Mm.
Is something that I really am very passionate about. Like, to dress up a bride or a groom for their
Mm.
wedding, and see that smile when the entire look comes together
Mm.
is something that I feel very happy about.
Okay, okay.
Like
Mm.
it is a lot of hard work, it's decision making, going
Mm.
back and forth,
Okay.
like being in sync with the bride and her family, keeping family traditions in mind. There's a lot that goes behind it. You
Okay.
need a lot of patience.
Mm.
But I feel like when she's all dressed up and she's just ready to enter the next phase of her
Mm.
life, and you get to see that smile on her face, it's
Okay.
something I get very excited about.
Mm.
And it gives me like a lot of joy. I feel very content.
Mm. Mm.
So I think I'm one of the few lucky people who figured out what I really want to do in my
Super,
life.
super. Mm.
Yeah.
So why do you think a bride or groom should have a bridal stylist? So will it
Um,
save them any money or time?
right. So you must have
Mm.
heard of the quote, penny wise, pound foolish.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Mm.
So I think you can apply that as is to something
Mm.
like this, because wedding expenses are, as it is, a lot,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So a lot of people think about adding on another wedding
Mm.
expense
Mm.
by hiring a bridal stylist. They think a lot about it, but I think it's an investment, because you're literally sharing off half your headache with
Mm.
somebody.
Mm.
And while she's taking that headache of yours, like your bridal stylist is taking that headache of yours, you can enjoy the process of your wedding.
Mm.
So it's so important to enjoy these few days that before you enter
That
the
leads to
next
your
chapter.
wedding. Mm.
Exactly. So
Mm.
often brides and grooms don't do that. They're so caught up in the decor, in the wedding
Mm.
process,
Mm.
in the
Mm.
what do I wear, how do I look. They want to look their best,
Mm.
obviously,
Mm.
but they're so caught up in the whole process that they do not really want to
Mm.
enjoy they're not able to enjoy
Mm.
their wedding
They'll have too
process.
much going on in their mind.
Exactly. They're
Mm.
so stressed about everything,
Okay.
right? So they want to do it all by themselves. So by hiring a wedding stylist or hiring me,
Mm.
they can share that
Headache to you.
headache. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like a mirror to them, who
Okay.
gives them
Mm.
unbiased opinions and
Mm.
ideas about how they can look their best.
Mm.
And from the day when the bride or the groom says yes to the particular garment and we go ahead with it, that day onwards, the headache is not theirs. It's
Okay.
completely mine,
Mm.
because the trial dates, the dates of delivery,
Mm.
the dates of when the vendors have to come back and give the product to us is all my headache. So I
Mm.
follow up, and I do a lot of follow up with brands, and for their trials, and make sure
Mm.
everything is smoothly done, so that the garment or the jewelry is delivered to us much ahead in
Okay.
time, so that she can enjoy her last few days
Super.
pampering
Mm.
herself, taking that beauty sleep or things
Mm.
like that.
Okay. Okay. So can you walk me through the process of this bridal styling?
Yeah. So I think it's pretty simple. Like from the day when the bride or the groom calls me, approaches me,
Mm.
I go set up a meeting with them. to see how they look, where they come from, their values, family backgrounds, their profession, the budgets they have, the kind of
Okay.
timelines they have, you know. So it's very important to understand all these criterias to work with a client. And then once they finalize or fix me, once I'm on board, then I make sure that I kind of build a rapport with them. You know, it's very important to build a rapport with. This is not a shoot, right? I'm not going
Right,
to
right,
see
right,
them for
right.
one day.
One day.
It's a process. I'm going to meet
Mm.
them till their
So
wedding
how
date.
early they will approach you usually?
Some brides do it 3 months in advance.
Okay,
Some do
okay.
it 1 month in advance,
Okay. That 1 month
and
is very hectic,
it's
no?
hectic. It's very
Okay.
hectic because you know you have to rush things, and if something has to be customized, then it's very tough to convince designers to give it to us on time
Okay.
and stuff like that. But when we have 3 months, it's comfortable. 3-4 months, you know, we pace out things, and it's easy for us to work. And yeah, that's the process. And then we plan out dates. We go shopping,
Okay. Okay.
and yeah.
So do you have a say in makeup also?
I do have a say in makeup,
Okay.
and I do recommend brides for
Makeup.
particular makeup artists, hairstylists. But sometimes they have their own. They're very
Okay.
fixated that they want to work with a particular
At the time,
person.
you both will work together in
Yes,
getting
the
the
looks
look.
are decided by me,
Super.
and like the hair and the makeup and the entire look is decided by me. But if they want to go in with a particular makeup artist, then I just leave it up to them. I'm
Okay.
not
Okay.
particular.
Fine. So how will someone choose between a ready-to-wear outfit and a customized outfit? Let's say I'm coming to you. How
Hmm.
will you decide it that I should go to a ready-to-wear outfit or a customized outfit?
Depends on the time you have.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely a customized outfit is a one of a kind. It's made just for you. It has its own perks, you know. But also you need to give me the amount of time to customize a
Okay.
garment. If it's ready to wear, then we can just pick it off the rack. And if
Does
there
it
are
also depend on the body type of
it
the?
does.
Okay.
Majorly. I was coming to that next. It does depend on body type and, you know, if they're comfortable wearing, ready to wear or not. Because some people are not. They want a garment to be customized
Okay.
just for them so that, you know, it's made perfectly to their fit. So that's the major difference. Like, I am not going to recommend them to pick up only labels or brands. I'm
Okay. Okay.
always open for experimenting with smaller designers, local brands, street shopping when it
Super.
comes to maybe accessory and jewelry. Because the more you experiment, the more you try out,
The more unique your.
exactly, you know, you're going to end up looking different every time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the more you push yourself out of your comfort zone little by little is when people are going to notice it, and they're going to, like, you know, really say like, oh, this time she's tried something new. It's
Okay.
not just a piece she's picked off rack and
Correct.
wearing,
Correct.
you know. So it's important to push your limits little bit, maybe when it comes to fashion.
So, are clients of you are willing to experiment in this aspect?
um some are, yes, some are
Okay.
not, but somehow I try to amalgamate their comfort levels with
With
my
the
sense of style, and I try to merge it, and I tell
Okay.
them, why don't you try this?
Okay. Okay.
And I
Okay.
put on a nice sweet face.
Okay.
And yeah, they're okay to experiment. They're okay to try out, you know,
Super.
stuff, and I make them wear it. I don't blindly just recommend it. I make them wear a couple of styles, and when they see themselves in that style, they actually wonder, oh, why haven't I tried this before? You know, I should have tried it before. It actually suits me.
Yeah.
So that's when they push their limits little by
Okay.
little.
I think we have makeup artists in our team, so they
Right.
also do the same thing. They will put the makeup and they'll ask the brides to bring the entire outfit and wear it and
Try
see.
it. Yeah, so they have a whole feel, look and feel of how they're going to actually look.
So what is the
on the
point of
wedding
putting
day.
trial makeup when you wear regular clothes? You will look ordinary still.
Exactly. So this makes more sense, right? Bring your jewelry, bring your outfit, and feel like how you're going to feel on
Yes,
that
yes,
day.
exactly. So as a bridal stylist, what are the 3 things that you recommend a bride or groom should have, which will make your job easy?
To start off, they should definitely be aware of the kind of budgets they have
Okay.
that they want to spend on their jewelry and outfits. Then maybe come to me with a couple of references, so I have like a fair idea of what you're looking at, and we save time on not showing you everything, but specifically looking at, you know,
Correct.
on those
You can
lines.
narrow it down.
Yeah, we can narrow it down, save time, you know. And the third thing would be, you know, trust in your stylist, because if you've hired and if you're investing in somebody, then there must be a reason for it, right? So trust your stylist, trust that she's going to give you the best opinions and feedback, and yeah, just
Okay,
that's
fine.
important.
So how do you convince the brides who already have their own idea and you kind of know that it won't work out to them?
Very nice question
Okay.
because I do have a lot of brides who
Hmm.
are opinionated. You know, they
Hmm.
have their opinions happening. Um, so I wouldn't use the word convince,
Hmm.
but I'd say I tell them why a certain style may
Hmm.
not work on them. Like looking at something on a magazine
Hmm.
and looking at something on Instagram and then actually wearing it. For your body type or skin type, maybe two different things
Hmm.
completely,
Hmm.
right? So I do tell them that this is something that may not work, but let's look something on these lines. Maybe
Hmm.
tweak the color, the embroidery, the neckline, and
Okay.
maybe
According to your
work.
body type, you can
Yeah,
tweak it.
let's tweak it. There's
Hmm.
so many options available, so
Hmm.
many different people offering so much.
Hmm. Hmm.
So let's tweak it a bit. Let's try out different things,
Hmm.
and very luckily they agree to it very
Super.
openly.
Hmm.
I think it's always a way you talk to them
Hmm.
and put it forward.
Correct.
You have to make them understand that amongst the two of you, you are the one who has more knowledge on this subject, right? So that has to always be the
Correct. Correct.
point of
Hmm.
focus,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
they need to understand that time and again.
Correct. Correct.
So yeah. And but in the end, if they're really reluctant and they want to go in with something, then
You won't
I
stop
would
them.
not stop,
Okay.
because it's their
Okay.
wedding day, it's their vision. So
So do you have to convince the family as well? Like, let's say the bride accepted it, but the family is not accepting.
again, the same process
Hmm.
runs with the family as well. Like, if the family is again looking at something in particular,
Hmm.
I give them my opinion. I would tell them, like, this is kind of outdated and may
Okay.
not
Hmm.
work.
Hmm.
And again, be very polite with them, and because they're elders and you have to be a
Correct. Correct.
certain
Hmm.
way, right? They, after all, they are the people who are spending on the wedding, so
Hmm.
they feel that they have every right to give an
Ask you.
opinion
Hmm.
about it. So again, I like really, put it in a nice way and I tell
Hmm.
them why this may not work and why this color may work for your daughter or son.
Okay.
So most often they do get convinced and they do understand that times have changed. Yeah.
Super. Super. So have you noticed any shift in what a bride is looking for in the past few years, like in terms of comfort or sustainability?
Yeah.
Hmm.
A bride, I'd say brides and grooms are very inspired by Bollywood weddings and
Okay. Hmm.
Bollywood weddings. They're like,
Okay.
very fascinated by
Hmm.
what these guys are wearing.
Hmm.
So, they bring in a lot of these references to
Hmm.
us. When it comes to that, they're like they're not fixated as such. They're
Hmm.
inspired by it.
Hmm.
And if something is available on the similar lines, they're okay with it.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, there are also people, I mean, brides who are so focused on, after the wedding, I'm moving to the US, I'm
Hmm.
going to UK.
Hmm.
I do not have any use of this gold jewelry. So I think it's a waste of investment
Okay.
buying real jewelry for all my
Okay.
occasions.
Okay.
Let my parents give me the jewelry that they have to give me.
Okay.
But the rest, let's go pick up some silver jewelry, lab
Super.
grown
Hmm.
diamonds, or
Hmm.
let's just buy, let's
Not
just,
necessarily the natural
yeah,
diamonds.
let's rent it out. So they're
Okay.
okay with it.
Okay.
So some
Okay.
people are okay with that as well. They
Hmm.
don't want to spend too much
Okay.
on,
Okay.
big
Hmm.
things that they're not going to use in the
Hmm. Hmm.
future.
Hmm.
So they are aware.
Okay.
People are asking for rental places for
Hmm.
lehengas and
Hmm.
outfits
Hmm.
like that. So they are very much aware of sustainability and they want to follow that path
Hmm.
to some extent, not
Hmm.
fully yet.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's the difference between styling a North Indian bride versus styling a South Indian bride? Especially nowadays, the South Indians are adapting a lot of things from North Indian weddings like Sangeeta, Mehendi functions.
Correct. I won't put it in the category of North Indian and South Indian,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd say there are different kind of brides.
Hmm.
There are minimalistic brides, and then there are,
Oh, super.
yeah,
Okay.
they're like full
Grandeur.
on
Uh,
grandeur brides. They want to go all out for their
okay. Okay. Hmm.
wedding, and so these are the two categories. I'd say I would not put them in North Indian, South
Hmm.
Indian, because
Hmm.
everybody today wants to follow everything.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like you said, haldi, mehendi is not
South
a tradition
Indians
of South
tradition.
Indian
Yeah.
brides, but they want to do it for the fun of
Okay.
it and the carnival and the bringing
Correct.
in the wedding
Hmm.
vibes. So I'd not differentiate them like that, but I'd say there are minimalistic brides and there are flashy brides.
Okay. Hmm.
Who want to go all out. It's their
Hmm.
wedding day. They want to try out everything. So if the minimalistic bride is really minimalistic
Hmm.
and she's going to end up looking like one of the wedding guests,
Hmm.
then I intervene. I come and I tell
Okay.
her, listen, you can't do that. You
Hmm.
have to look like the
Hmm.
bride. You have to end up having a little bit of drama there. So you end up,
Okay. Hmm.
looking, remembering your pictures and then looking like the
Hmm.
bride. And then there are some brides who I have to ask them to little,
Tone it down
tone
a little
down
bit. Okay.
and, things like that.
Hmm.
So that's that. And then there is also a category of bride chilla and bride zilla.
Oh, what is
So
that?
bride chillas
Uh,
are the chill brides
hmm.
who are not taking any stress.
Okay.
But I'm the one taking the
Okay.
stress, and then there are bridezillas who are taking all the stress in the world,
Okay.
and I'm the one who's like calming them down. I'm like, please, 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 don't worry,
Okay.
things will go as planned and
All
things like
right.
that.
All right. All
So
right.
yeah.
So when brides have their own personality, is it represented in their looks?
Definitely.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
I wouldn't say
Like, let's say
looks.
someone is so fashionable, they
Hmm.
want to represent it in their looks also in their
They
wedding.
want to.
Hmm.
They want to. Like I said, those brides are very. They know what they want.
Hmm. Hmm.
The ones that are really aware,
Hmm.
who've gone through every wedding page on Instagram, and
Hmm.
they're really aware. Oh, this is exactly how I want to look. In one way, it's a blessing because these brides know what they
Hmm.
want. They're not indecisive, and
Okay.
they're
Okay.
not
Okay.
like always confused. They know
Okay.
what they want,
Hmm.
and they want their personality to shine out.
Hmm.
The others are shy, coy, and they're like, oh, okay,
That is a little difficult to work with. No, you have
not
to.
difficult.
Hmm.
It's just like balance that you have to
Hmm.
strike between their personality and see, I wouldn't like put them into a lehenga that they're not able to walk in.
Correct.
Right,
Correct.
they're going
Hmm.
to be very comfortable.
Hmm.
We're very particular about the kind of lehengas we choose for a minimalistic
Hmm. Hmm.
bride or a wedding outfit. She has to be comfortable, she has to be herself. That's the main
Okay.
priority.
Okay. Okay.
So even those look like how they actually are in real
Hmm.
life,
Hmm. Hmm.
maybe just with a little bit of tweaking here and there. And
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Fine. So, what are the accessory options for someone who's wearing lehengas? Especially if someone is from down south, they are
Hmm.
wearing lehenga for the first time in their wedding. So what are the accessory options for them?
Again, accessories depend on the kind of occasion, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
The lehenga can be worn on a wedding or a
Hmm.
sangeet or a mehendi
Okay.
or a reception.
Reception. Yeah.
So again, when you say reception, you end up calling a lot of people for
Hmm.
reception, right? It's majorly a lot of people. So
Correct.
the bride needs to wear jewelry that shows out from the stage, like
Hmm.
from
Hmm.
far
Hmm.
away, and it's sparkling and things like that. If it's a wedding lehenga, then the jewelry will have to be more on the traditional lines,
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
temple
Hmm.
jewelry
Hmm.
or maybe kundan or
Hmm.
polkis
Hmm.
and things like that. If it's a sangeet, again she can opt for uncut diamonds and diamonds again. So it depends on different occasions. Like you
Okay.
said, down south, there's no particular rule of choosing a
Hmm.
particular
Hmm.
kind of jewelry for a lehenga.
Okay.
Again, what she's comfortable in totally.
Okay. Okay.
I wouldn't like, I would say match the color of your jewelry with your the embroidery on your
Okay.
lehenga. That's
Okay.
more
Hmm.
important than
Hmm.
the kind of jewelry. And
Hmm.
one important rule
Hmm.
while opting for jewelry is it should never overpower you. It's
Okay.
so close to your face that
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
can always end up overpowering you.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And the bride can end up looking
Dull.
yeah,
Hmm.
dull. So
Hmm.
always offer jewelry that enhances your outfit
Uh,
and makes you look nice, not
hmm.
overshadows you.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
the rule that I'd say follow.
So the importance should be given on a whole look, not particularly the
Jewelry,
jewelry.
yeah,
Yeah.
and your face. You're the
Okay.
bride, right? So you should stand out the most.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Yeah,
So can jewelry be customized?
definitely.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
Definitely, we customize jewelry.
Okay.
Say, like if a particular bride is liked something off the internet
Hmm.
or she's
Hmm.
seen it somewhere and she's gained inspiration from it.
Hmm.
If we have the time, we definitely customize it. We
Okay.
have a lot
Okay.
of vendors in Chennai who do it,
Oh, superb. Okay.
and
Hmm.
yeah, we
So
can
you can show
definitely.
the exact picture. I can get it.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay.
Be done.
So what is the difference between styling for a wedding and styling for a shoot? Since you have done both,
Yeah.
so which interests you more?
I like to style for weddings
Okay. Okay.
because
So as you said in the beginning, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
because it's like real life and real life,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So wedding is real and the photo shoots are like real,
Hmm.
right? So when it comes to wedding, you have to make sure the bride is really comfortable because
Hmm.
there are people looking at her face to face, relatives, guests, family.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Even the kind of footwear that we choose
Hmm. Should be comfortable.
should be very
Hmm.
comfortable. Like we pick up from places that the bride is going to be very comfortable in,
Hmm.
or we get it customized.
Hmm.
The kind of drape that we do, the way if she lifts her hand to greet guests, she's folding her
Hmm.
hands or
Hmm.
bending down to touch the feet. She has to be very comfortable. Her
Correct.
blouse
Correct.
cannot move up and down. Everything has to
Hmm.
be kept in mind while styling a bride. Her pins cannot be seen
Hmm.
and things like that. But when it comes to a shoot, the picture, like you're a
Yes.
photographer,
Yes. Yeah.
at the end of it,
We have a little room for editing also.
yeah,
Hmm.
a lot of room for editing, I
Okay.
think.
Hmm.
And
Not a lot, little.
okay, a little bit. So
Because
we
if
can
you do that, it will be hectic for the editor again.
correct. So
Hmm.
I mean, like I feel like there is that. Okay, after the post production can play
Correct,
a
correct,
major
correct,
part here. So the 100 pins that are going on your hair and your sari back at the back, nobody's watching.
Correct.
The model is sometimes made to stand on a brick because the shape of the sari has to fall a certain
Have you
way.
seen this saree draping thing and all? They'll be exactly fitted to the body.
Exactly. All that is like
Yeah.
got
It's
on
pinned
post
and
production.
yeah.
It's pinned. The model is standing on a brick. Like I have stood on bricks
Oh, okay.
for the shape of the sari to fall a certain way.
You can't even
So
move, right?
You cannot move, and it's
Okay.
very tiring. So that's the major difference. Like this can be taken care later on, but this is just that one
Okay.
live experience. It's your wedding.
Okay.
So everything has to be perfect.
For
and
wedding,
set.
it's mostly comfort oriented.
Comfort oriented and practicality.
Correct, correct.
So for shoots, it's the total like opposite.
Okay, okay. So personally, which celebrity wedding is more of your style?
I think the recent wedding, Aditi Rao Hadvi and
Oh,
Siddharth's
super.
wedding, I think it's doing the rounds because there's no like,
It was so simple but
it's
so elegant.
simple because the bride and the groom are standing out. It doesn't look like a set from a movie. It looks like real. It feels relatable. I really liked it. I felt they just were highlighted so much and the rest of the things were not given so much importance.
Correct, correct.
That was great. I think Alia Bhatt and Ranbir Kapoor's wedding was also very beautiful because it was done in the house. And again, the couple was highlighted. The ceremony was highlighted.
Correct, correct.
So I think a lot of inspiration, a lot of brides are getting inspired by that as well.
So according to you, the highlight should be on the bride and groom, not the other thing.
Definitely. It shouldn't look like a, something I'm watching on the OTT.
Okay.
It should look like
Netflix
a real,
series.
wedding and relatable.
Correct, correct, correct. And if the photography is also in that way, it'll be so
yeah,
nice.
with natural lighting
Correct,
and,
correct, correct,
candid moments.
Nowadays, you know what they're doing? They're planning the photo shoot, but to make it look as natural as possible. I think for Aditi also, I believe Joseph Radik sir took it. But they are planning the shoot, but still they are doing it in a way
very
which looks
natural way.
very candid.
But for them, it works because they're actors.
Mm-hmm.
So they know exactly where the camera is coming from. So it's easier. But when it comes to real life groom and bride,
Correct, correct.
they have no idea where to look, what their angle is,
Correct,
where the light is going to hit their face. So it's very different in that way. So I think when it comes to photography, like, would you recommend a bride and groom to actually take some, practice some
Yeah,
shots?
if possible, as you said, if possible they have time, they can do it.
They
actually.
should, right?
They should
So
be
that they can
comfortable in
get-
front of the camera.
Exactly. So there should be people like that, right? To train.
Okay.
Why don't you start an academy?
New business idea.
Yeah.
Thank you for this
should do
idea.
something like that where because wedding is a very good
Yeah,
business.
of course. It is
idea.
a huge market in
It is a
India.
huge market. Yeah.
So you've collaborated with Tissot and Seiko and a lot of watch brands. So how do you think watches play an important role in styling a person? I am a very watch enthusiast, so
Yeah.
you can talk about it.
Yeah, I love watches too,
Superb.
and I think more than handbags and shoes, I'm really, I
Great.
get excited looking at watches. I have a huge wish list.
Super.
In fact, I got to work also with. I worked with Tissot and Rado.
Seiko.
Seiko as well, and Bulgari as well. Hrithik Roshan had come down for Rado, and Deepika Padukone had come down for Tissot, and I got to meet them and speak to them. And it was really nice. In fact, Bulgari had brought down their world record watches
Yeah,
to
no, the
Chennai.
Finissimo, right? The thinnest watch.
Yes, those
That's
and
for men.
a couple of watches,
Serpenti
other watches,
for the
Serpenti
women.
watches, and their diamond-studded watches. I did try out a few, and it
Okay.
was beautiful. So I was so excited to be a part of something like that, and I think watches are so like such a statement. It can be even a Casio vintage. Like I
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
Casio vintage which I wear, and I absolutely love it. I was in this. It's so funny. I was in a restaurant, and this guy comes up to me.
Okay.
And he picks up a conversation with me because of the watch I was wearing.
Okay.
The
okay.
Casio vintage, So people do notice it, and people do have a keen eye when it comes to watches. Yeah.
Okay.
So, which is your favorite watch?
I'm wearing Omega right now, so
Okay.
Omega is my favorite.
And what's on your wish list?
Yeah, they obviously the AP. Patek
Okay,
and all.
AP and Patek.
Yeah, but that's too far, I know.
Right, of course. I mean,
So you're looking very flawless. Can you share your skincare secrets?
it's a secret. I cannot share it.
Okay. Mm,
I'm just joking.
okay, it's okay.
So you won't believe if I say this. I don't have a sweet tooth.
Okay, really?
Yeah, I don't have a sweet tooth.
I'm
so-
exactly opposite to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
But you have good skin.
that's thanks to my makeup artist people who are all.
Okay.
So I'm surrounded with makeup artists.
Right, obviously, because you're into the photography and media industry.
My very close friends are makeup artists, so they'll be
Okay.
giving advice constantly. I'll just follow the advice. That's it.
Right.
Mm.
So I think to glow from outside, it's important how you
Mm.
take care of yourself from the inside. So I don't include sugar in my diet, and I
Okay,
think that's
okay.
one of the major reasons
Mm.
why my skin looks the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because sugar really tends to age you. Is what
Mm-hmm.
I've learned and what I've read about.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing, and I like to sleep for 8 to 9 hours.
Super.
I
Okay.
do
We are
that.
on the same team, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so I like to sleep for 8 9 hours. I
Mm.
think sleep can repair anything.
Okay.
Mentally, physically, it's
Same, same, same.
important
Mm.
to get your good 8 9 hours of sleep. And
Do you wear any sleep trackers?
no, I don't.
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
don't.
Just
And
try it sometime, no?
sleep
Yeah,
trackers.
yeah, yeah. So I am
Okay.
wearing a sleep tracker right now because it helps me track the sleep.
All
So
right.
if at all I didn't get proper sleep, I will be notified the next day. So I'll be more conscious and try to
Try to do it.
do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've not really invested in any
Mm.
trackers or
Mm.
those Apple
Not
watches and
not the
stuff.
fancy one, the basic one. At
The
least you know
the
the
Fitbits and stuff.
yes, yes, yeah.
Right. Okay. Maybe I should do that.
So sleep and cutting sugar then.
Yes, no sugar.
Mm.
And I think, I am a very like optimistic person.
Mm.
I
Mm.
feel like, even when some kind of obstacle or difficulty comes my way,
Mm.
I do get upset about it initially, but then I'm like, I have no control over it. It's
Mm.
not something that I can really control. So I just wonder, that okay, if this has come my way, there must be something to it. There must be
Mm.
something that would add on to my character building or to make me someone more sharper
Mm.
or better. So I
Okay.
take it that way. I
Okay.
convert a negative thought into a positive one. It's not
Mm.
that I've been I've been an expert at it, but
Mm.
I try to do it.
Okay.
I
Okay.
try
Okay.
to
Mm.
instantly convert a negative thought into a positive one,
Okay.
as fast as I can, because I know the damages it can have to
Okay.
your body mentally
Mm.
and physically. So if you're not really
So if you are mentally preoccupied, you're telling that it will also reflect on your skin also.
it will,
Okay.
because it
Mm.
converts into stress, and then stress will
Correct.
not
Correct.
let you
Correct. Correct.
sleep.
Mm.
When you don't sleep properly, you wake up in the morning with a bad mood. You
Correct.
wake up with a bad mood, and then you end up eating rubbish. So your
Okay.
everything, your
Mm.
sleep cycle is not fine.
Mm.
So your emotional, your mind is not fine, and then
Mm.
you also end up binging. So it's all a
Correct. Correct.
cycle. I
Mm.
feel it's just one after the other.
So
So
I just want to tell you something. If at all I didn't sleep properly the previous day, I
yeah.
end up eating sugar on the
That's
same
what I
day.
said.
Mm.
You pick on the wrong things because the previous night you've
Mm.
not had that,
Proper
restful
sleep.
sleep, and
Correct.
your mind is not at peace. So the entire thing
Mm.
reflects on, how your emotional well-being is very important. So I
Correct.
give that a lot of importance, and I work out. I've started very recently. I've started
Mm.
doing strength and
Okay.
lifting weights. I never used to do all those things. I
Okay.
used to
Okay. Okay.
think, okay, cardio is enough for
Mm.
me.
Mm.
A little bit of breathing exercises will
Mm.
do,
Mm.
but I realized that it's so important, to lift a little bit
Correct.
of
Correct.
weight,
Correct. Correct.
and
Especially for women because the bone density
exactly.
you tend to lose bone density as
Exactly. I was
you.
not aware of these
Okay.
things.
Mm.
I would always think, okay, I'm slim, that's enough, but that's not
Okay.
enough. I'm
Mm.
not working out now to actually lose weight, but I'm
Mm.
doing it so that in my future, when I'm at a certain age in
Mm.
my life, I'm able to easily sit and get up
Correct.
and
Correct.
not
Correct.
have aches and pains.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
my
Mm.
uh, you know that's my vision, the
Super.
mobility part of things.
Correct, correct. There is
Yeah.
also a particular mobility training apart
It
from
is.
this.
I'm taking that.
Super, super. Where is it
So
in Chennai?
it's in Kilpok. My trainer is called Hani,
Oh,
and
super.
she's excellent. She knows. I just love working out with her. She's so good at
Okay,
what
okay,
she
okay,
does.
okay.
So she combines mobility, strength training,
Mm.
weight, a little bit of muscle and everything. Like it's a good mix of cardio and stuff like
Okay.
that. So I don't get bored with her workouts. My main thing was that I never want to wake up thinking, oh God, I have to go to the same gym, same
Okay.
machinery. I can't do those things.
Mm.
So it's very interesting with her. She knows
So
what
how
she's
many
doing.
days in a week you will go?
I go 3 to 4 times a
Super.
week.
That is the optimal level, I guess.
That's
Because if you
enough.
overstress yourself, you will end up not
Exactly. You
going.
need a day's rest. You need to rest
Mm.
your body,
Mm.
get back,
Mm.
recovery, and then
Mm.
again go back to workout.
Mm.
With a busy lifestyle, you have to make sure at least you can get in 3 to 4 days.
Correct, correct, correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So what skincare advice would you recommend for your brides and grooms?
Like I said, sleep,
Mm.
very important.
Mm.
Food, lifestyle is very important. If you want to glow from the outside, you have to take care of the inside first.
Mm. Mm.
I'm not a big fan of those quick fixes.
Correct.
Go to a dermatologist, do this, do
Do
that.
the
Of
peel.
course, I'd recommend like maybe a temporary
Mm.
facial, like, a facial just for your wedding
Correct,
day.
correct,
All that
correct.
is okay.
Mm.
But, some brides opting for skin lightening and brightening
Mm.
and going in for treatments which will end up damaging their skin.
On the day of the wedding.
Yeah,
Huh? Okay.
some skin types are so sensitive that they
Mm.
end up breaking out, and
Mm.
to repair that breakout and that skin is very difficult again.
Okay,
So if
okay.
you've not touched your skin before and this is your first time, then don't experiment immediately.
Okay.
You
So how
still
long do you think they should take a time?
I think start your food, sleep, those habits much in advance,
Mm.
say 6 months well in advance of your wedding, so that you can see the results, because
Correct.
these are very slow processes, right?
Mm.
These things take time. So
Mm.
start 6 months in advance of your
Mm.
wedding date. And also don't stress so much, I feel. Delegate.
Okay.
You have your
Mm.
family, you have your friends, you have experts in the industry
Mm.
who handle things, so delegate all your wedding planning. You
Mm.
don't have to take up all your stresses, like, I think, asking your friends to get involved and delegating it to all your friends makes a lot of difference,
Correct.
rather than you wanting to manage
Okay, okay.
everything on your
I
own.
think once you start this lifestyle, I even after the wedding also they'll continue this lifestyle
Exactly.
when they see the results
It
in
is
their
very
face.
tough. It's not easy, of
Mm.
course, to eat boring food,
Mm.
to, switch off your phone
Correct,
and,
correct.
go to sleep at the same time every day. It's not easy.
Mm.
We are so distracted, right? Even I, while
Mm.
saying all these things, it's not that I have the perfect lifestyle,
Correct, correct.
but I, to some extent, try, I
Mm.
know the advantages of it. I understand how
Mm.
this can take me, especially a person who's always in front of camera. I
Mm.
have to understand that I have to take care of my skin, my
Correct.
hair,
Mm.
and more than anything, I need to be mentally very
Mm.
present. With so much happening on social media,
Mm.
there's so much happening, there's so much comparison going on.
Mm.
You have to be relevant all the time. There are
Correct,
people
correct, correct.
doing all sorts of
Especially as a content
things.
creator, you have to be relevant all the
Exactly,
time.
and there are so many people doing all sorts of things like
Mm.
dancing and getting so many followers, and you are
Don't even
working
get
hard and
yeah,
slogging your
yeah.
ass,
Mm.
and you want to still, and you're still
Same
on the
for
same,
fashion photography. Imagine planning a excellent shoot, but you don't get that much
the reach
appreciation. Yeah.
or the appreciation, right? Because there are people like doing shortcuts.
Mm.
So
And there'll be
just
people who will be dancing in front of the camera, and there'll be a photographer also, but then they'll get a lot of followers.
yeah.
So yeah.
So
Mm.
everybody's dancing.
Yes.
So you if you
Mm.
don't want to do that, you have to like actually
Mm.
I feel like concentrate on what you're doing. Don't get
Mm.
distracted by all that, and just like take care of your
Correct,
mind. That's
correct,
so important, to take care of your mind. If
correct.
that is fine, everything else is fine.
Okay. So can you tell me the style trends according to which absolutely I have to go? Mm.
Style trends, I talk about makeup.
Mm.
Okay, like when it comes to a bride, I don't know what is the obsession to
Mm.
look 4 shades lighter on her wedding day.
Okay, okay, okay.
Like I'm like, why?
Mm.
That's your wedding, and then comes the marriage. In your marriage, you're going to wake up and sleep without makeup. So
Correct.
why,
Why do you
what
want
is
to
the
show yourself?
obsession to look 4 shades lighter? I
Mm.
understand,
Mm.
how society works, but you should also understand that you have to be very comfortable in your own skin, and
Mm.
for which you have to take care of your skin. You have to, even if you're dusky, I think that looks beautiful if
Beautiful,
you
yeah, of
take
course.
care of your skin and hire a good makeup artist. So
Correct,
half
correct.
your job is done there,
Mm.
so you don't really have to be obsessed with looking a certain shade of
Skin tone.
skin tone on
Mm.
your wedding day, because when you look back at the pictures, you should be able to relate to it.
Correct, correct, correct.
That's one trend I think should go,
Mm.
should disappear.
Okay, okay,
And the other thing is, these brides wearing these wedding chudas,
okay.
those red bangles
Mm.
on their wedding day. Like, I understand if it's a religious thing or if it's a cultural thing which they have to wear for
Mm.
40 days. That's something that I understand.
Okay, but
But
that is
just
a North Indian
wearing it,
tradition, right?
it is a North Indian
Correct, correct.
tradition. But there are, in some you have to wear them
Mm.
as a tradition, and some it's just, they wear it because they're getting married.
Okay.
So I'd say, like, don't go with it to your honeymoon and to your holiday, and it's not
Mm.
necessary. You don't have to prove to anybody you're married.
Okay. Mm.
So it's okay to remove it, and
Mm.
it has to go now. It's passe, I feel.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
fine. So, what are the top five spots to hang out in Chennai? Let's say someone is coming from Mumbai or Hyderabad, your clients.
Mhm.
Where will you recommend them to go?
I don't think there are five. There'll be so many because I'm a big
Say according to
foodie.
you.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm not loyal to one place, but I
Okay.
like trying new places
Mm.
and experimenting new things. I like OG Ramen. I don't know if you've been there. I
No, I have
love
not been
OG
there.
Ramen.
Okay.
I love the food there. Then there is the Amethyst Bar.
Amethyst
It
Stadium.
has amazing cocktails and good
Okay.
food pairing. The vibe is so good.
Hmm.
The ambience. Then I'd say ACO
Hmm.
for some Korean
Korean restaurant.
food.
Yeah.
Although I don't eat all kinds of meat, I love
Okay.
ACO. I have a
Okay.
few dishes there which I go and eat
Hmm.
all the time. Then I'm a huge biryani person,
Okay.
so you'll see me trying out different biryani
Hmm.
places all the time.
Hmm.
And
What is the best place according to you?
recently I went to Junior Kupana and I
Okay.
sat
Okay.
there alone
Hmm.
because I was not in the mood to share my biryani with anybody.
Okay.
So I went there, ate my biryani alone, and I left. And I
Super.
really had a good time.
Okay. Hmm.
So also I'm not a club person,
Hmm.
so you will not find me at all these clubs, but I do enjoy a good Bollywood night.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
sometimes once in a while I don't mind doing that.
Hmm.
I go to Basque often with
Okay.
my
Okay.
girls. We
Hmm.
have like a Sunday ritual there.
Okay.
So
Okay. So
we
every
meet
Sunday
up
will
there.
be
Most
okay.
of the Sundays we meet
Okay.
up there and then we indulge in good food and some gossip.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
nice. And yeah, I mean
Any
these are
dessert place,
the
but you are not a sweet tooth.
I'm not, yeah. So
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend any dessert places.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell me your favorite dessert places.
I don't know. Not in Chennai. I have in Bangalore.
But
But
suddenly, if you're craving some sweets, where
see,
do
I
you
am
go?
in the farthest part of the town. If I want to order
Okay.
something, also it's a task for me. I have to come to my studio and I have to order.
Oh, okay. So,
So
isn't
maybe
that a good
there's
thing one way? Because you don't end up eating sugar.
yeah, maybe. But still, also I will try the tiramisu from Seoul.
Ah, oh, Seoul is
Yeah,
also
Seoul
my
is a nice
one of my
place.
favorite
Yeah.
places. Healthy
Mm.
food. I like the food there.
Then in Bangalore there is Magnolia that I
Yeah,
love.
of
Apart
course.
from the Chennai, I don't have any idea right now. Mm.
Mm.
So, what are your thoughts on Indian luxury brands? Like, would you suggest it to your clients opposed to like European or American luxury brands?
Oh, okay. You're talking about Indian luxury or like
No, would you suggest Indian luxury brands as opposed to European or American luxury brands?
I would. I
Mm,
mean, see, if it comes to the bridal scene, then I
mm,
would definitely recommend
mm,
Indian luxury brands because I think growing up, watched so many of these Hindi Bollywood movies, and
mm,
I
mm.
was always, fascinated by Manish Malhotra's clothes and
Correct.
designs, and
Mm,
I didn't know any other
mm,
designer.
mm, mm,
But today we have like so many nice,
mm,
Indian designers. Raw Mango
mm,
by
mm.
Sanjay Garg. We have Torani. We have Abhinav Mishra. There's so
Correct,
many
correct.
nice designers who are offering craftsmanship, embroidery, silhouettes, fabrics that are so unique and nice
Mm, mm,
that if actually a bride researches and knows that
mm,
knows what she wants,
mm,
she can straight head to that particular store because they're offering their own niche and
mm.
their USPs. So
Okay,
there's one in every section. Every Indian heritage
okay, okay.
fabric, weaves, embroidery has been shown out so much in these
Mm,
brands.
mm.
So I think it's very rich and very
Okay,
culturally out there.
okay. So, what about the accessories? Let's say you have Dior heels and all, right?
Mm.
I suppose do you have any alternate options in Indian luxury brands,
Footwear.
footwear or accessories generally?
Uh, See, I go
Hmm.
to Zara a lot for my accessories.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
really like it. It's a high street brand, but
Correct.
it gives you, I think, accessories at a good.
Hmm.
Uh, see, accessories is something you keep buying. It's
Hmm.
not. It's
Hmm.
not like gold or something that you
Correct.
just
Correct.
invest in
Hmm.
one time, right? So I think they are very fashion
Hmm.
forward. They're very quick in looking at other high luxury brands and grasping the trend and actually
Correct. Correct.
making
Hmm.
those. So that's a good alternative if you don't want to pick
Hmm.
up a Dior, of course. But yeah, you can check out Zara, and I mean, I often go there to pick up stuff.
Okay. Okay. Super. So, can we talk about your appearances in recent events? Like, which excited
Um,
you the most?
the recent one that I can think of is
Hmm.
the one that I attended in Hyderabad. I went
Hmm.
for the Derby,
Hmm.
and Shivan Naresh had a show there. It was a
Okay.
very well curated show
Hmm.
by them, and there were like a lineup of designs for us to watch. That was quite exciting. I think it's Hyderabad is just so close to Chennai,
Correct.
and to
Correct.
have an experience like that, just few
Hmm.
um, few hours from away from Chennai was really fascinating.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
wonder why can't we bring those,
Everyone is
you
wondering
know,
that only. Why can't we
yeah,
bring those to Chennai? Yeah.
exactly,
Hmm.
because it's not like people don't have the buying power here. They do
Hmm.
have it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Maybe the awareness is not so much,
Hmm.
and the
Hmm.
ones who have the awareness travel and buy.
Okay.
So I
Hmm.
wonder when there will be a day when people actually um, open out avenues like that for us to
Correct. Correct.
experience
Correct.
in Chennai.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think very soon, maybe.
Hmm.
I mean,
Sure. Sure.
yeah. So I don't. When it comes to photography,
Mm.
how pestered you get when models and clients ask you to give the pictures, and are they always behind your back? Give us the
Yes,
pictures. Give us
yes,
the
they are.
pictures.
The immediately when they go out of the studio, they'll start asking, "When can I have the pictures?"
How do you handle that?
So I have to sit and explain to them clearly. So how
Yeah,
the process works. If you give me the ample amount of time, so you know how it works. I have to color grade it first, then I have
right.
to retouch it. So I have
Correct.
to explain it to them. So these are all the processes involved. So please give me at least 1 week of time so that I can get back to you with the better
Right.
results. Yeah.
Right. And
Mm.
I mean, do models request you to edit out stomach and
Yeah,
make my
of
arms look
course,
thinner,
course,
my
course.
face, my
There are
jawline?
few people
Because
who
I've
just
done that to a lot of photographers. I've tortured them.
okay.
Yeah.
And do they do a good job in that?
I mean, I just joke with them, but I feel
Okay.
as natural as the editing is, it's
It's
best.
best
When people
actually.
have seen you, they
Mm.
know how you look. You can't really crop out stomach and,
Correct, correct, correct. Maybe
arms.
we can edit out small details. Maybe
Exactly.
something which is very disturbing, you can edit it out.
Correct.
But the major part of trimming the stomach, I don't think it's necessary. You can
Yeah.
embrace whatever you are.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
think now celebrities have taught us to embrace, right?
Mm.
Earlier, it was
Correct,
about perfection and
correct,
size and
correct, correct,
stuff.
correct. It
But
was
when you
too
see
unrealistic. I don't think you can reach
exactly,
that level.
people can't even relate to it
Correct, correct, correct.
and stuff like that.
I think especially in terms of relatability, when you are an influencer or content creator, you have to be more relatable, I guess.
Very true. That
Mm.
sells better.
Correct,
I
correct.
realize that the days when I'm actually doing my
Mm.
makeup and hair and going
Mm.
to
Mm.
do a shoot, a reel, the reach of that reel is not so much
Mm.
in comparison, to a reel where I'm just naturally
Natural.
putting out stuff where my mother's massaging my hair with oil.
Okay. Mm.
I'm like, what the hell?
Mm.
Because
People want to relate to you
yeah,
more.
they're like more acceptable and they feel more connected to you. And I,
Correct.
I think that's what I've understood of Instagram. People are bored of seeing perfection. They want to
Mm.
see
Mm.
real stuff
Mm.
and relatability
Even in ad
factors.
space, also, the polished content where we do photo shoot with everything perfect, it's
Yeah,
not selling anymore. People
right.
want the natural content, the UGC, user generated content. So, what they're
Okay.
doing is they're giving the products to the user and they want their reviews rather than us shooting a commercial for them.
Okay. Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
I didn't know this is doing the rounds.
Yeah, yeah. So in photographer community, this is going on where the polished content is not selling anymore. Like they are
Okay.
talking, no, right now Bollywood is not working anymore. In the same way, the polished content where we
Okay.
plan the shoot, the polished everything, it's not working anymore.
Okay.
We have
Why
to
is
be.
Bollywood not working anymore?
Maybe some movies are not getting the box office number which we used to get
Okay.
earlier.
People are
The
looking at
theater
more.
occupancies are very less actually.
Right.
Mm.
Okay.
So thank you, Mehndi, for coming to the show
Thank you
and
so much, Ajit,
sharing
for
all your
having me.
knowledge to us.
Yes.
Hope the viewers found it useful.
I hope so too.
Mm.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.